guys, welcome back to our podcast, Somewhere in the Middle. And as usual, this is Pao.
This is Scotty.
And this is Raffy.
Alright, okay, ayan. So again, thank you guys for joining us and listening in to our latest episode. So for this episode, ang pag-uusapan natin is all about Pride. Of course, hindi matatapos ang June, which is the Pride Month, na hindi natin pag-uusapan ang topic na ito. I'm sure maraming feels towards this topic. Personally, ako, medyo marami rin. And I believe lahat tayo dito, no? Scotty, Raffy, marami ring feels. Tama ba?
Yes.
May na-assume ko lang ba yun?
Oo naman.
Kaming assume lang pala ako.
Yes.
Sige, pagdaanan natin. Pakiramdam naman natin ang feels na ito.
Oo.
Napagdaanan. Okay. So, ayan. Since we're talking about pride, let's have a better understanding muna. And our intellectual bekshies of the day is Raffy. Raffy, baka naman mamaya, pwede mo bang ma-share sa amin ang iyong mga kaalaman tungkol sa pride?
Yes. Okay. Since
Ilang thesis ba yan?
medyo ako si pop culture bekshi. So, meron ako, I'll just discuss the small things that I know about, the Pride and how it started. So, yung Pride Month talaga kasi, it is not a celebration. It started not as a celebration of the LGBTs, but it is nag-start siya as the Stonewall Riots kasi sa Greenwich Village sa New York noong June 1969. O, diba? Ano yun? Parang yung Stonewall Inn was an establishment na pinifrequent ng mga gays and lesbians. Kasi noong time na yun, gays and lesbians pa lang, diba? Wala pa yung mga other parts of the LGBTQIA spectrum. So, tapos, ni-raid ng police, ng NYPD, yung Stonewall. Tapos parang, kasi nung time na yon, nung 1950s and 60s, the gay and lesbian population were being discriminated talaga. Na parang, hindi pwedeng pumasok, hindi pwedeng pumasok sa establishment, hindi pwedeng maglakad on the street, ganyan. Yung basically walang protection. So, tapos parang the only establishment that they could come was dun sa mga owners din na LGBT or mga mafia syndicates, ganyan. So, oo, yung mga establishments na ino-own ng mga mafia lords, ganyan, na parang kasi during those times, di ba, being gay was considered illegal or being as a disease, ganyan, na hindi normal. So parang criminalized siya, hinuhuli, ganyan. So parang a lot of people were in hiding, ganyan. Tapos parang napuno lang yung mga tao nung nangyari nga yung Stonewall riots. So, because of that, parang the day after or a few days after, sila ng march, ng parang rally to have the gay and lesbian rights. Tapos parang naging Pride March siya parang a year after kasi nung meron ng mga other cities like LA, Chicago, ganyan, na nagtayo na din ng mga parang organizations catering to LGBT. So parang 1 year after that Stonewall riots, nagkaroon ng mga march na din in those cities. So, lagi nga sinasabi nung mga mas older na LGBT, parang they fought so the present generation can have what they are enjoying. Ang lakas maka-intellectual doon.
Oh, that's true naman. Like, tayo kasi, I mean, we're not yet fully accepted. I would say we're not yet fully accepted. We're tolerated. LGBTQIA++ is currently tolerated, not accepted. But still, even though we're just tolerated, the amount of things that we enjoy right now is a lot more compared to what they were experiencing and receiving from back in the days, right?
Yeah.
Kasi before, grabe yung judgments, grabe yung crime against those people, grabe yung hate against people that's part of the LGBTQIA++, right?
Basically, the community became like an underground community kasi nga hindi sila pwedeng express ng sarili nila outside. Parang I remember watching a documentary. I just don't remember the title anymore kasi nga sa YouTube lahat napapanood ko na yung mga documentary na ganyan. Parang they were required to wear at least 3 articles of clothing na pasok doon sa gender nila. Like, if you are a male, kahit na gay ka, you should, parang hindi ka huhuli ng pulis. Parang if you have at least 3 articles of clothing na exclusively for males. Ganon. And the same goes for the lesbians. Ganon. So, sobrang hirap nung time na yon. Tapos, parang, yun nga, parang they stood up together to have rights. Kasi parang, di ba, they wanted the people to accept the LGBTQIA community na hindi naman may sakit, di ba, na hindi siya sakit. They could also be productive members of society. And nung time na yun, hindi talaga kino-consider. Ngayon, parang, ngayon, ang daming privileges or, hindi naman privileges, parang, ang daming things na na-enjoy ng community. Like, ngayon, papagawa ka ng damit. Saan ka pupunta, diba? Ang pupuntahan mo, it's an LGBT person. Diba? Papaganda ka, saan ka pupunta? It's an LGBT person. Parang, sa mga sikat na industry, like, sa tourism, entertainment, ganyan. Saan ka diba? Parang hindi ka din maka-encounter ng LGBTQIA person. So, you know.
Kasi ang daming successful na people that's part of the LGBTQIA++ community.
Yeah.
And the reason for that, I think the reason for that is tayo, when growing up, we want to be recognized by people that we fit in and that we should like prove ourselves to people just because of who we are and the preference that we have.
Yes.
Kasi
Dobling effort.
Exactly. Like yung mga, sorry for the straight people. Like, for those straight people, especially for straight men, kasi even for women, challenge din yung like the work, etc. But for like straight men rather, they don't have to prove so much kasi just the fact that they're straight men, especially if they're white straight men, then they basically won the lottery na. And then unlike them, people like us would have to prove a lot more compared to them. That's why a lot more people that's part of the LGBTQIA++ are also successful. Kasi we want to keep on proving to the rest of the world that we deserve to be here.
Yes, and we can be sabi ko kanina, we can be productive members of society. 'Di ba? Parang kasi 'di ba marami yung mga straight people na nagjo-judge ng LGBT. Kunyari, pag hindi niya nagawa yung mahina siya kasi nga bakla ganyan. Or kasi wala siyang alam kasi bakla siya. Yung mga ganon. So people in our community work harder, 'di ba? Na hindi lang i-prove na okay, successful ako. Kasi parang 'di ba, parang normal people would just have na, okay, after studying, I have to be successful. I have to earn for my family. I have to earn a living. Pero sa LGBT, kailangan din niyang tanggalin yung mga preconceived notions na mahina siya kasi ganito siya. Or hindi niya kaya yung trabaho na to kasi ganito kasi LGBTQIA siya. 'Di ba? So, tapos yung mga preconceived notions on top of the parang gusto niyang i-goals talaga. 'Di ba? Plus kailangan pa niyang lagpasan yung mga yon dahil expectations parang family, ng friends, ganun. So parang I really feel it's really hard for us. Kaya pag nakakakita ko ng successful na LGBT, parang LGBTQIA plus member of the community, parang may pride. Alam mo yung parang pag Filipino pride na nakita mo sa ibang bansa na, sikat si Pilipino na ganito. Parang gano'n. Tahimik na Scotty.
Oo nga eh.
Actually, nakikinig kasi ako talaga sa usapan yung dalawa. And, tama naman kayo kasi talagang parang the others are deprived of expressing themselves. Hindi lang dahil mahina or whatsoever. And nahirapan din sila to show themselves who they are and what they really are. Kasi syempre sa mata, sa huhusga ng tao. Lalo na sa country natin, alam niyo naman, very sagrado ang ating mamamayan at saka mga kasapi sa bawat lugar, di ba? Makita ka nga lang kumembot, ay bakla yan, di ba? Makita nga lang na kumembot or whatsoever, na-judge na agad. So, we are in a society of all judgers. Don't worry, Raff, hindi lang ikaw ang judger.
Marami na talaga ako na judger.
Yes, char. Oo. Pero kasi I think it's because of the religion that was brought to us then. Like, before, sorry like, I don't have anything against people who's like Roman Catholic or part of Christianity and things like that. Unless, of course, you're homophobic, then I do have a problem with you. But like, religion in general, if like, they're teaching one another to love, etc. But for people kasi na Roman Catholic, Christians, for some of them, they have this misconception that being gay is a sin. Actually, parang if you read the Bible, naka-indicate na doon that parang absuelto na yung people sa ganung sin. Kaya nga allowed na tayo to eat pork, etc. Kasi it's not considered a sin anymore. Updated na. Okay?
Coming from that, I remembered watching something and reading something. Kasi after ko winatch, na-curious ako. So I Googled. Parang at a certain, I'm not sure, pero 1940s ata or before pa. The original translation of the Bible wasn't against like homosexuality or what. Parang the term was pedophiles.
Oh.
Oo. I mean, you can just fact check it after. Pero I saw it kasi sa YouTube. I'm not saying that this is 100% true or what. Pero at a certain point, the English translations of the Bible daw was against yung pedophiles. Na tapos parang translation error ata or what, na parang they did not know what to put in the place of the pedophiles, kaya naging homosexuality, parang gano'n.
Baka kasi chinention lang kasi maraming pedophile na priests. Charot!
Ay, wala ako dyan.
Pero, Totoo yun. Maraming sex offenders.
There are priests na nahuhuli na merong
hindi nahuhuli.
Yeah, so parang pero that's another issue and that's another.
Yeah. Not to label all priests, not all naman, but there are a lot.
Just to clear, not all priests.
Not all. There are. There are priests na medyo nawawala sa landas. Just like normal people na may nawawala din sa landas. So
it's important not to generalize kasi yun nga yung problem natin, di ba? Like the LGBTQIA++ is being generalized every time. Maybe even the community of women in the world are being generalized. Ang daming hasty generalizations na nangyayari sa mundo. Kaya ang daming misconceptions. Pero yun, i-clarify lang natin. We're not generalizing in those terms. When it comes to the priests. Okay, you do you.
Ikaw kasi ba't mo pa inopen?
Ha?
Ikaw kasi ba't mo pa inopen yun?
No, it's just stating facts. Like, maybe that's the reason why nagkaroon ng ganung type of correction from pedophile to homosexuals.
Homo erectus? Nag-stop
Homo
lang si Homo erectus.
Homo sapiens?
Okay. Hindi, pero I'm not claiming that that's 100% true. Kasi parang I just watched it, tas nag-google lang ako at some point. Pero that was long ago before we even started this podcast. So maybe I remember it wrong or it's not 100% true. I'm not sure. I'm not claiming it to be. Pero yun nga, I remember that na if it is really like that, parang kumbaga wala talaga.
May nangyari noon.
Oo. And even our Pope now, diba, nagkaroon siya ng statement dati na kung ang LGBT person naman malapit kay Lord at wala siyang ginagawa na masama sa tao.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? Sino ako para i-shoo away siya? Hindi ko na alam yung exact words. Pero yun nga, parang who am I to turn my back? Parang gano'n. Diba? So,
I like that.
Actually, I remembered lang, sorry. We, dun sa chapter namin sa Kulyat, we also had a talk about LGBTQIA+ for Pride Month, no? And one of our speakers said na parang we do not need the acceptance of the general public. Why? Kasi parang pag inaano natin na we need their acceptance, kumbaga, we are second-class citizens. Na parang we are people under those people. Yung parang mas mababa tayong uring tao.
If we seek acceptance.
Hindi, yung kumbaga parang parang kailangan na i-accept nyo ako, ganyan, sa society, yung mga gano'n.
Tapos lagi pa natin, if ever na lagi pa natin i-please yung mga people, yung mga kasamahan natin. Alam mo yun, kaya naman natin yung sarili natin, di ba? So something like that.
Yeah. That's actually why I'm against the thought of coming out as gay, lesbian, bi, whatever. Kasi straight people don't have to do it. And it's part of our nature to be what we are. So why do we have to go like, Ma, Pa, I'm gay, I'm bi, or I'm lesbian or whatever? Diba? Kasi it's not fair for ourselves. Kasi parang yung just the thought of coming out is like saying we're not normal. And we are. Actually, homosexuality is found across a lot of species in the animal kingdom, but homophobia is only found in one, which is us humans.
Hindi ko
Kasi may
kinaya.
purpose ang mga homosexuals.
Hindi ko kinaya yung very Kuya Kim.
Hindi may pa-trivia si Pa.
Oo, hindi ko kinaya yung Kuya Kim moment mo doon. Sorry.
No, kasi may purpose ang mga homosexual couples in the animal kingdom. Kasi there's a tendency na a baby, an offspring, would lose their parents. And usually, since yung mga homosexual couples in different animal species are looking for babies of their own, sila yung kumukupkup doon sa people to increase the probability na mag-survive yung offspring. That's why it's part of nature na magkaroon ng ganun.
I read that. Alam ko may penguins na may homosexual.
Actually, penguins din yung nasa utak ko ng...
At saka, there are certain species of primates.
Hindi lang, pati lions din, marami.
Talaga? Pero yun lang yung alam ko, pero marami pala. Which is, which is very great.
O, diba? Kasi the more you know, parang, shocks, so it's part of nature, tapos parang dinideny siya ng humans. Actually, in ancient Greece, ito pa.
So, alam ko yan, Romans and Grecian time.
Ancient Greece, it's celebrated if you're gay or bi or something kasi you're basically above the norm. Yun yung tingin nila, you're above the normal people kasi you can go against the normal na tinuturing nila, which is the straight couples. Kaya if you're able to be a partner with someone of the same sex, then wow, you're respected. Pero yeah, ayun.
Maraming salamat dyan sa mga knowledge nyo. Madami akong natutunan.
Kaya kailangan malaman natin at some point in time siya na baliktad na naging ano siya. Kasi ako, I honestly don't know. Pero ang I remember, isang reason bakit din siya nagkaroon ng negative image was because of psychiatrists. Sama ba ako, psychiatrist? Na kinalasify siya into a disease.
Oh, yeah. Oo nga, may, what do you call this? Electrical na treatment sila na tinatawag.
Parang may treatment sila na ini-electrocute yung brain ng person. Tsaka nagkaroon pa ng mga anti-gay conversion camps, ganyan. Tapos merong mga yung mga ano tawag doon? Yung parang sa Nazis, yung camp. Yes, may concentration camps for gay people sa ibang countries na still existing today.
Oh, what? Until today?
Yeah, meron nababalitaan na sa China, meron. Tapos yung I forgot the country, pero yung malapit sa Russia, Chechnya. Yun,
basta saan.
Basta malapit siya kay Putin. Yun, Chechnya ata, meron pang gay concentration camps na nag-ooperate. Ganun.
Okay, that's messed up.
Oo.
Medyo ang problematic nun.
Tingin doon, anong ginagawa doon?
Pino-force kayong mag-conform to normal societal beliefs.
Or at least what they define as normal.
Yes.
Oo, kasi it's about who's in power naman eh. Sa totoo lang. It's political. Sorry, but getting political here, but yung mga ganitong movements is all political. Like, okay, I'm the one in power and these are my beliefs, then you have to follow it because everything else is wrong.
Yes. Kaya nga si Russia ngayon, diba? Parang LGBTs are persecuted. Kaya nga parang there was a time na may hindi naman libre, parang super discounted na tour for travel agents to go to Russia, and I did not want to come. Kasi baka doon pa lang sa airport, malaman na LGBTQIA.
Raffy, wow. Bakit ka namin nakilala?
Oo. Diba? So, tapos parang, I remember, magkakaroon ako ng trip sa Brunei, tapos, my operator called the office, not knowing na ako yung maging tour escort ng group. Sinabi na, can you please ask this person to dye his hair black? Kasi blondie na ako noon eh. Kasi nawala na yung striking color. So, naiwan na yung bleached hair. Kasi ka, parang due to Muslim Muslim beliefs, ganyan na parang pugot. Niloloko nga ako pugot pulo. I don't know if it's true, pero yun. So, parang it scared the bleeping out of me.
Pero, like, okay, kasi yun naman, mga societal or cultural things siya, but I don't think they're condemning you for being part of the LGBT unless kaya ka inaano is because you look LGBT. I'm not sure. Yun ba?
I don't know. Yun yung sinabi nung nung operator ko. Na
parang, sabi niya, mukha kang bakla, kailangan mo magmukhang lalaki, ganon?
Hindi, parang sinuggest na mag-dye ako ng hair para walang issue.
So that you cover up the fact of you being gay? Or is it because...
Siguro dahil Muslim, ganyan. Tapos diba, we couldn't even wear shorts sa buong trip ko sa Brunei. So,
Brunei, okay.
I think it's more of the religious thing. And I did not go naman there like flaunting na, hey people, hey, look at me, I'm a flaming gay, ganyan. So parang, nirespeto ko na lang din yung culture na, it was just me, na hindi ako yung gumawa ng stuff na parang sisigaw na, hey, I'm part of the LGBT.
Yung case naman na yan, I think it's more of a cultural thing. So, it's okay. baka hindi naman, baka not because of your sexuality naman yung action nila. I hope not. Kasi if it is, then that's another problematic country altogether. That's another issue altogether.
Hindi, parang
bago siyang issue.
with Muslim countries ata the same. Kasi di ba, even with the Middle Eastern countries, meron pa silang parang police about, they're not the police na for crimes. They're police for checking to see if they're following the rules of Islam, parang ganon. Like yung bawal, like kung nakikipag-usap ka sa babae na hindi pwede, yung mga suot nyo, ganyan. I think it's like that din. So parang I agree, it's a cultural thing or religious thing na hindi natin control. Pero like with Russia,
okay,
yun, I think those are just purely discriminatory.
Nakakapunta ng Russia. Paglapag mo pa lang, bang-bang.
Kaya nga di ba? Parang, tapos there were protests na hinuhuli sila. There were protests na parang mga bands or mga celebrities na about, na they support LGBTs. Kinikidnap sila, ganyan. Or pinapatay. So, yung mga ganon, scary. Pero yung sa like, my experience with Brunei, it's kinda scary kasi nga ayokong mahuli or ayokong mapugot ang ulo kung totoo nga yun. Pero, you know, respect na lang kung gano'n, diba?
Okay naman. Pinablock mo naman yung buhok mo.
Oo. Nakapag-rest.
Black na buhok.
Nakapag-rest.
Oo. Which I think okay kasi knowing na it's the 21st century, tas meron pang mga ganitong bagay-bagay, which goes to show na importante pa rin yung movement towards equal rights of the LGBTQIA++. Kaya okay yung mga Pride March, mga movements that are going on right now. Okay, kasi ang daming issue na parang, bakit walang street march? Like, why would they need that? They're not discriminated against. Diba? They don't experience these things that we do experience. Which brings me to my next question. Kasi, ayun nga, Pride. You know, yung movements, the Pride March, mga parades, etc. So, ang curious ako, kasi since we're all part of the LGBTQIA++ community, have you guys involved yourself or joined itong mga ganitong movements, parades, etc.?
Well, basically parades, hindi pa ako nakapag-attend ng yung mga Pride March, parade, ganyan. Pero I've joined stuff like yung I know I invited you to all of them, yung mga pag ako yung nagtutalk about LGBT or how is it living as an LGBT, ganyan. Na nagtutalk ako so I can share views and knowledge and, you know, break some stereotypes of some people about, you know, LGBT. And I agree dun sa sinasabi ko kanina na may speaker kami na about LGBTQIA empowerment na sa kakaganito namin, like kunyari sa kakatalk namin and share stuff about, you know, us, parang 10, 20, 30 years from now, na parang we won't need these talks. Na parang hindi na kailangan kasi we are fully integrated in the society na parang to the point na hindi na kailangan tanungin na, is he part of the LGBTQIA community? Is she part of it? Ganyan. Or parang, bakla ba siya? Lesbiana ba siya? Bi ba siya? Transgender ba siya? Ganyan. Parang, we are very far from what started the Pride March, no? Yung kung anong experiences nila. Pero we are still not there dun sa point na yun. Pero I hope we are getting there slow. Even if it's slow, diba? Mas gusto ko mga slowly and steadily wins the race. Sure. Yun. I hope sa kakaganyan namin, you know.
Oo. At sana yung episode rin natin na to, no? Like,
yeah.
Not only the LGBTQIA++ are listening. Diba? We have friends and people na nakaka-encounter ng podcast natin that are part of the straight community naman.
Yes,
and I hope
makinig kayo and listen to our views and
true. Pero Before I ask Scotty that question, natuwa lang talaga ako sa sinabi mo, Raffy. Kasi ito yung sinabi mo, I agree with what I said earlier. Like, yeah, I agree with myself. Oh my God.
In-affirm yung sarili niya.
Mali lang yung yung I agree with the person that kinikwento ko kanina. Mali lang yung choice of words ko. Kasi I was parang 5 steps ahead of myself. So parang, nung na-reach ko na yung step, parang nag-jumble-jumble na yung words ko. Sorry, alam niyo namang lagi akong lutang, diba? Hindi kasi ako intellectual bekshi lagi.
Wow, ha? Well, I agree with myself too. Pero ayun, okay, sige. Thank you, Raffy. Actually, I agree with what you said kasi we're still far from the goal, the actual goal. And it's great that even if you do not involve yourself in parades, etc., you have your own way of showing it, like doing speeches, doing talks regarding the LGBTQIA, regarding the pride topic, no? Now, I'm curious about Scotty. Si Scotty kasi medyo silent siya. Feeling ko nagmumuni-muni siya about the things that we're talking about. Ikaw ba, Scotty, may involvement ka ba?
Thank you for that wonderful question, Pao and Rafi. So yun, actually, hindi, funny thing kasi, alam niyo yun, ang dami ko natututunan for this episode, especially yung mga history and all. Honestly, I'm not very sure with that history kung kailan ba siya nag-start. Kasi alam ko pag dumilat ko na lang ng mata, what's parade march? May ganun pa nga ako, what's parade march? Ano ba yung kailangan natin paglaban? Or siguro kasi namulat na rin ako sa mundo, sorry guys kasi namulat na rin naman ako sa mundo na meron ng LGBTQIA whatever alphabet, sorry guys, all the alphabet na nandun. Sorry, I'm not familiar and I'm not, hindi ko sa ulado lahat ng alphabet na meron sa LGBTQ. Kasi dati it's just LGBTQ, tapos nadagdagan na. So, well, sa family namin, may gay, may trans, may lesbo. So, nandun na siya sa family namin. Kaya bata pa lang, mulat na ako sa ganung sitwasyon. So, ang ano ko lang naman is, even though nasanay na ako na makita ang ganung klaseng pamumuhay sa aming pamilya, sa aking paligid din actually as well, is nandun pa rin naman yung takot ng discrimination coming from the other people. Minsan kasi even your family kasi is questioning you about what you are, what you feel, ganyan. So, minsan nga yung friends mo pa ang magiging ano. Pero this is not happened to me ha. Kasi like what I mentioned, bukas ang puso ng aking pamilya sa ganitong klaseng being part of the LGBTQ. So yun. So as part of the movement naman, if nakasama na ako sa klaseng sa Pride March, honestly hindi. Actually, during the pre-prod, sabi ko nga kanina.
Bawiin ang card niya, Char.
Hindi pa actually even talks, ganyan. Ito nga yung during the pre-prod earlier, sabi ko, this was 2019, yung friend ko, we were in toy convention. Tapos, there's a Pride March in Marikina. Sabi niya, tara punta tayo Pride March, ganyan-ganyan. Sabi ko, dito na lang sa toy con. Kasi, ang thinking ko kasi, sorry po so ang thinking ko kasi, hindi ko na rin ipaglalaban yung mga rights kasi I'm not sure kasi sabi nga ni Pao kanina na hindi pa fully accepted, pero I forgot the word that you mentioned earlier, pero yung privilege na
just tolerated, not accepted.
Yes, we're just pero nandun na rin tayo sa state na yun, especially in our country. So, sabi niyo nga, the part of the community is also recognized with all the things that they did and they done with our society and especially in the businesses. So, ang akin lang is just represent who you are and whatever you are in all platforms, not just in Pride March. So, yun lang yung akin. Sorry. So, pero in celebration of Pride, yun nga. So just represent the community. in all the medium that you have.
Actually,
Okay.
no, tama may point si Scotty doon na so a lot of people kasi forget the essence of the Pride marches with the what happened sa history. Ba't nabuo yun? Tapos, second point ni Scotty na you can be a productive member of the LGBT, and promote the rights and equality and stuff, even without the Pride March activities. Na parang hindi lang naman June ka magiging active dahil Pride Month, diba? Pwede naman ang buong year, ganyan. Or like all the time, diba?
Okay, sige. Okay, I agree naman that na okay na rin yung mga na-experience ng mga tao. Like what we've established nga for the duration of this episode. No, but magdi-disagree lang ako dun sa isang part na sinabi mo, Scotty. Kasi you mentioned about something na okay na natotolerate tayo. And I deeply disagree with that. Being tolerant for a certain group is different from acceptance. Being tolerant towards a certain group means you're still a second-class citizen or even lower. And I believe nobody deserves that. Kasi we're all of the same species, pare-pareho lang tayo human beings, and we have to accept that these types of people do exist. And it's okay to be different. Doon nagkaka-problema with acceptance kasi people would think na okay, they're tolerating me and that's good enough. Maybe compared to before, that's already good. That's already a level up compared to what we experienced before. But you must never forget the goal, which is equality. Equality among all genders, not just not priority for straight people. And this is not even to prioritize people of the LGBTQIA++ community to have more rights, but for everyone to have equal rights. Like for example, marriage. Diba? Like only straight people, at least in our country, are allowed to get married. And hindi pa rin allowed yung same-sex couples, etc. Oo, and it's problematic kasi it's not about changing your beliefs, your religion. Kasi yun yung nagiging fight ng mga religious people na it's about, you're not following the words of God, etc. Things like that. You're committing a sin. Things like that. But that's not the point. It's about equal rights. Kasi under the Constitution, under the laws that we follow in the Philippines, there are perks that married couples enjoy that people who are just living together, not officially married, cannot enjoy. And we have to fight for that. We have to fight for those rights.
Actually,
I think
sisingit ako dahil masyado ng hot si Bekshies Pao. Actually, tama siya, like with the marriage thing. Kasi parang a lot of people, actually to be honest, like my grandmother, pinush din niya yun na parang bago siya namatay, sinabi niya sa akin na wag daw ako magpapakasal sa lalaki kasi nga kasalanan sa Diyos. So, pero hindi ko na siya nilaban kasi nasa deathbed niya na siya. Okay na. Ang ano ko lang, parang na minsan inaano ko din sa friends ng parents ko pati sa mommy ko ganyan na it's not about us wanting to be married sa church na may church picture ka and such. It's about yung rights nga. Kasi like for example, diba, partner ko si Bright with Chiro Char. Tapos may anak kami pero sa kanya, I mean sperm cell niya, no. Tapos namatay siya. Hindi ko makukuha yung right dun sa anak namin. Diba? Pag may nangyari sa kanya sa hospital, I cannot even decide for him na kung gusto ko bang i-prolong yung buhay niya, i-go na yung operation niya para maligtas siya. I cannot even decide on that. Diba? Or pag namatay siya, yung pinaghirapan namin, hindi man mapupunta sa akin. Kasi hindi ako recognized by the state na ako yung legal na
Wife?
pwede makakuha. Oo, legal wife. Legal guardian. Or whatever. Ano man yun.
Siguro yung kaninang pinapoint ko lang is about the representation of the LGBTQIA++ to the society. Pero yun nga, in terms of legality, yun yung kailangan nating hanapin.
Oo.
Thank you for your point. So, somehow naliwanagan naman ako doon. Pero yun nga, like what I mentioned, it's about the representation of who and what we are right now.
May question ako, guys. Kasi, I don't know your like childhood memories being LGBT, no? Parang, how was it? Kasi like ako, I remember, naalala ko kasi sa sinabi ni Scotty, like, exposed siya because family members are part of LGBT. Pero kasi for the longest time, ako lang, like, I wasn't really exposed nung childhood ko. Kasi wala akong kamukha na LGBTQIA or wala akong kamukhang gay person. Tapos elementary, wala naman, di naman sinasabi, di ba? You don't go around telling people na, are you gay? Or I'm gay, ganyan. So parang iba pa yung nasa utak nyo na. High school, ako lang yung out and proud. Siguro meron, tapos nakapag-out na lang lately. Pero for the 4 years of high school, ako lang talaga. Tapos ako lang, yung queen bee, gano'n. Parang every cheerleading competition namin, ako lagi si head cheerleader, gano'n. So, parang, oo. Ako lang talaga na, gano'n. Tapos, college na ako nagkaroon ng circle of friends na part of the LGBT. Na medyo na-overwhelm ako kasi I didn't know how to handle other LGBTQIA persons kasi wala akong experience. Wala akong exposure. Pero dun sa mother side ko, ako lang talaga. As in, walang ako lang. Tapos, sa father side ko, hindi naman super late. Siguro, yung masasabi ko nang may isip na kami, dun na siya doon na ako nagkaroon ng kasama. So, how was your childhood with LGBT? I mean, si Scotty, meron siyang exposure. Ako wala. Ikaw, Pao?
Okay. Complicated story. But for the longest time kasi, I was confused regarding what I am. Kasi feeling ko noon, I can fall in love with women. May ganun akong factor before. Nanligaw pa nga ako before kasi there was this girl doon sa school kung nasaan ako na ang ganda, tapos nagka-crush talaga ako sa kanya. Tapos niligawan ko siya. So for the longest time...
Sa province?
Yes, sa province. And I guess the reason, an added reason for that confusion is because I live in a family that are critical against gay community. Gay community, like not lesbian, but gay, like gay people. Like I would hear comments like saying, "Oh, sa ating magpipinsan, bawal ang half Filipino, half Filipina, ha?" So, tas nagtatawanan lang yung people about it. And also, I would even hear from people that I love saying na, ganito si ganyan kasi bakla siya. Kaya ganyan yung ugali niya kasi kaya hindi yan siya successful, etc., etc. So there is an underlying judgment against people belonging to the community. And for me, that should not be the case kasi if that person is problematic, then that person is problematic. Doesn't mean na other gay people are also problematic. Right? So, because of that, nakakadagdag ng confusion. Maybe hindi naman talaga ako ganon kasi like wala sa family kong ganon at least nung time na yon. Tapos maybe that's the reason why I'm against like coming out as well. Like until now, I haven't come out to my family. Like maybe if they watch this, then be like, "Oh, confirmed." But like, okay, if you find out about it, then fine, whatever. Okay, but I don't see the necessity for me to come out to you guys, especially if I know that there is a chance that I'm just gonna be judged. So I guess that's my experience growing up. That was a cause of confusion. Ayun lang naman. Kaya ako triggered eh. Joke lang.
Trigger. Okay, pero for in our time of existence dito sa mundo, ang lalim, no? What can you say was the proudest moment you had as a LGBT person? Since we're celebrating Pride, parang connect natin ng konti.
Scotty.
Sa akin, like what I mentioned during our previous discussion na I'm an open book person. So, kung paano ako kumilos sa bahay, ganun din ako kumilos sa labas. Na wala akong takot, sige. I mean, ganito ako eh. Hindi naman ako kailangan sabihin na tanggapin niyo ako dahil ganito ako. Hindi. Kailangan niyo akong kilalanin kung sino ako dahil ganito ako. So, I'm still normal. Diba? Like what you mentioned nga earlier. There.
Okay. Sige, mag-share ka ba, Raffy? O ako ba muna?
Sige, ikaw na muna.
Ako na muna. Okay. For the longest of time, well, kasi diba, may fear din talaga ako of being judged. No, even with close friends. At least before I became more open to them. Hindi talaga ako kahit makahalata yung people, I would not say na, I'm like this. I won't do that. Like, kahit maraming hinala, ang daming nangiintriga, like, whatever, I'm not gonna tell you what I am. Because even I myself, I'm a bit confused. But, yeah, well, I got to, accept it slowly. Maybe, meron pa rin parang fear of getting judged. And to the point na yung relationship ko na kinikwento ko sa inyo with yung latest one.
Akala ko yung with the girl. Okay. Si with the...
No. Not
with the
girl.
Spanish sardines.
With the Spanish sardines. Ayun. Kasi, nung naging official kami, hindi, actually before maging official kami, nung medyo naglalandian na talaga kami, lumalabas kami several times. Lumabas kami sa mall, kung saan restaurant, etc. At gusto niyang i-hold yung hands ko. And I would always say no. Kasi for the fear of being judged. Tapos medyo na-disappoint siya. Like, to the point na every now and then, i-bring up niya na, I just saw like a couple of two Filipino guys holding hands in public. Parati siya nagbibigyan ng mga ganong example. To the point na, one time, we went to BGC, High Street, and then, out of nowhere, bigla akong grab yung hand niya. Tapos, proudly, naglakad kami, holding hands. And like, that was the proudest moment. Like, na-feel ko na, wala kayong pake, I'm happy what I'm doing, and this is who I am. First time ko knows sa world kung sino ako in that way to strangers. So, parang,
gusto ko mapagod yung eksena yun, no? Kung babalikan yung time, I want to be there and
actually, alam
to
mo,
support you, to cheer you. Go, go.
Ang lakas maka-movie.
Kaya nagulat siya. Nahinawakan ko yung kamay niya. Tapos tinitigan talaga kami ng mga tao as in ang dami nakatitig sa amin. Pero parang ako, okay, whatever, I'm gonna hold your hand in public without fears.
Well, wala ka namang tinatapakang tao, so there's nothing wrong. You're not hurting.
Exactly. Exactly. Oo. Pero yun nga, may fear din kasi before. Kaya...
And that's a very big step for, for you having those fears and then conquering them. That's...
Ikaw, Raffy.
Ako, hindi naman ganun ka-level nung sa'yo, Pao. Okay, pero parang I feel the proudest whenever I break stereotypes or I break barriers, ganyan. Na parang I meet a lot of people na yung pag kinausap mo, parang yung mga stereotypical guys na bet ako nito, kinakausap ako, ganyan. So, parang tas in the long run, makikita nila na okay, hindi pala parang I have straight guy friends, like close friends now, na they didn't want to be friends with me before kasi nga because of those stereotypes na pag kinausap ka ng bakla, gusto ka, ganyan. And then, parang at some point in the friendship, sabi nila na, alam mo, ikaw lang yung unang gay person na naging close namin, ganyan. Kasi, I mean, siguro they have had previous experiences na bad with the gays, ganyan, diba? Parang, I broke the barriers, ganyan, masaya ako. Tapos parang, and with some people, like, in the organization natin, na parang, people come to me for help, ganyan, na not really thinking about tutulong siya sa akin, pero LGBT siya, ganyan, gay siya, ganyan. So parang, I feel na natanggal ko na yung preconceived notions nila when they go to me or when they ask me to be this certain position or when they go to me for advice, ganyan, na without thinking of the gender and such, kasi na-prove ko naman sa kanila na I can be as productive or even more than them or some of them, diba, na even though I'm wired different. Doon.
Can I just say, kasi di ba na-mention mo na like straight guys afraid of getting close to gay people for fear na baka type sila. Ang masasabi ko lang, wow, feeling mo ba, porque you have that body part of a male, trip ka na ng lahat ng mga bakla? Bakit? Pogi ka ba?
Well, you cannot... Stress ako sa buhok ko. Well, you cannot... You cannot blame them, siguro. Kasi, di ba, dalawa lang yan? Dalawa, pero tatlo yung fingers na nakataas. Dalawa lang yan. It's either
they were abused.
Meron silang bad experience, kaya gano'n, or they are secretly, part of the community.
There's one more thing. Maybe they're afraid. Tatlo talaga to. Maybe they're afraid that the gay people will do the same thing that they do to women. Kasi maraming guys na grabe mang manyak at mag-disrespect sa mga babae. And they're afraid na gawin sa kanila yun ng mga gays na type sila. And can I just say, that's problematic kasi that just goes to show your values. I'm sorry. That just goes to show your values. Trigger na naman ako.
Oo nga ba?
Hindi, pero alam mo, parang ako kasi, I think na a lot of things in our setting, in the Philippine setting, are not really taught or discussed because they feel that it's not the priority kasi like we have priorities pa, like kunyari earning a living, getting a degree, ganyan, or parang alam mo yun, yung basically to survive. A lot of, let's be honest, di ba, a lot of Filipinos are not living comfortably or diba, not like yung mga maraming pera na they can live comfortably even without working for 5 years, 10 years, ganyan, diba? Na parang, I live on my daddy's wealth, even gano'n. So, alam mo yun, yung feeling ko wala sa priorities nila to know those things kasi they have more important things they have to prioritize based on their settings, based on their current situation. Kaya iba yung pagkaintindi nila, and some people, I mean, I'm not generalizing Filipinos pero the whole world, parang pag yun yung nakasanayan mo, they are resistant to change. They fear the change kasi they don't know what's going to happen. Kaya and on some aspects, they do not know a lot of stuff pero they act like they know a lot about it. So they have preconceived notions.
Naka-bring up ka nga nung isang challenge kasi yun yung nakasanayan nila. it became cultural,
Yes.
which is what we want to change. Because
Imagine mo yun, Scotty. Pumapasa ako kay Pao, bumapasa sa intellectual bench.
Wow siya.
Parang, no isang best ka pa niya napupo na friend. So, alam mo yun. So, mamaya magkakaroon ka na ng degree with PAO certificate. Ayan.
Yes. May diploma ako from PUP. Paulos Paus University of the Philippines. Char!
Maya, magpiprint ako for you. Joke lang. Honors, with honors. Valedictorian. Joke lang.
Dati, pangarap ko kasi maging cum laude. Cum landi lang kasi ako.
Pasado, malandi ka pala eh. Ayan. Okay, sige, parang masyado na tayo nati-trigger. Oo, pero ano ba yung lesson na gusto nyong i-impart sa mga tao? Like, yun, lesson na pinaka gusto nyong i-impart sa mga tao after this episode. At least kung ano yung gusto nyong tumatak sa kanila after this episode.
Okay,
Scotty.
ako muna.
Sige.
Naka-ready na ako. Makalimutan ko yung speech ko eh. Kanina ba ako lupak eh.
Sa akin mamaya. Joke lang.
Baka bawiin mo yung diploma ko. Okay, just do you. Sabi nga ni kanina, just do you. You don't have it is not a race. Life is not a race. It's not a competition. Just do you. Kung mag-out ka at a later time than your peers or what, it's okay. It's your own pace. Be in the pace that you are comfortable in. Tapos, basta wala kang tinatapakan na tao. Diba? You're not doing anything bad to other people. Sabi sa inyo, lutang ako eh. Wala kang ginagawang masama sa ibang tao. Okay na yon. You can be considered a great person already. Oh, Scotty.
And thank you, Britney Spears, for that wonderful speech.
Yung candidate number 1.
And thank you.
So, sa akin lang for others to respect you, respect yourself. Diyan naman nagsisimula ang lahat eh. So, at saka ulitin ko lang din yung sinabi ni Raffi na kung wala ka naman tinatapakang iba, huwag kang matakot. Dahil mahal ka namin. Madaming nagmamahal sa'yo. So, yan. Baka mahalin mo ko, don't forget my hand down below. So, yan.
Wow, I'm deserving pala of a retweet na.
Sige, ayan. Thank you, candidate number 2, for your wonderful answer.
Ayan. Okay. Candidate number 3.
Thank you for that wonderful question. I would like to reiterate what has been mentioned about loving yourself, and that goes along with accepting yourself. First step for people to start accepting us is to accept ourselves. Accept natin na ganito tayo, because if we can't love ourselves for who we are, for the type of people that we love, for the type of people that we are attracted to, then that's gonna be the root of the problem. Make times that it wouldn't matter if the general public will not agree with your choice of partner. But it's gonna be up to you to know yourself, to know within yourself na tama for you ang ginagawa mo. And don't be afraid to speak up because of inequalities, because of, mistreatment from other people. You have a voice, use it. And let's be strong together and i-forward natin ang goal of Pride, which is equality for all. And I thank you!
Alam nyo, dun sa sinabi nyo, may pumasok sa utak ko, and ito na lang ang gagawin nating parting words for this episode, no? Dun sa love yourself, Chuba. Sabi nga ni RuPaul, diba, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love somebody else?
Oh. You give up everything.
Oh. So, I hope I hope you enjoyed and learned a lot and realized a lot for this Pride episode, diba? So if we want to hear your stories as well, so you can comment on our YouTube channel and on our Instagram at sitm.podcast. Diba? We have our own
level up.
Level up, diba? So
May pa-Instagram na tayo.
yes. So we want to hear your stories. Let us know in that through those channels or social media accounts. Diba? And again, this was Raffy.
And this is Paul.
And this has been Scotty.
And this was Somewhere in the Middle.
In the middle.